What's up, everybody? I'm back with another roller coaster review, and today I am doing another Hersheypark coaster, the Sooperdooperlooper, a classic Hersheypark coaster, opened back in the 1970s something. I don't exactly remember the year Sooperdooperlooper opened, but I know it's one of Hersheypark's older coasters, but it is a family favorite, and I was able to get one ride in on it when we went, and I got my notes on it. So let's take the review, shall we? First off, this ride has a very slow lift hill, and I guess maybe it felt slower because we had just ridden Sky Rush, and that one's like super fast. I don't know, I just felt like it was a very slow lift hill. Not a big deal, but just kind of a testament for its time. When we got to the top of the lift hill, it made this like clunking sound that didn't sound like it was like supposed to happen, but like there was no like breakdowns of the ride or anything. So nothing happened on the ride like technical wise. So maybe that's supposed to happen. I don't know. If I ever do get back to Hersheypark, I do want to ride that again to see if it happens again, barring it's still like in operation. Just to see if anybody else has ridden Sooperdooperlooper though. Does that happen every time? I'd like to know in the comment section down below. So, and then of course, it's called Sooperdooperlooper. That might be a little bit false advertising because there's only one loop on the coaster. It's a vertical loop. Because right at the beginning of the ride, you go down this really good drop. The drop is like surprisingly really good and fast, and gives some good G's, and then you fly into the inversion itself, the loop, which is really cool because it interlocks with part of its layout that you get later on in the ride. And this is a very forceful loop, which really threw me off. Like you are just pulling G's as going through that thing. It blew me away. But so that was a very surprisingly good element of the ride. I guess when you're called the Sooperdooperlooper and you only have one loop, you better make it good, and they definitely did here. So that was a good surprise. But otherwise, the rest of the ride after that was pretty graceful. Just a lot of nice meandering, twists and turns, a few dips here and there. You do take some nice scenery through the park. You go near Comet, you go near Great Bear, especially. Does a lot of interactions with Great Bear, which is really cool. It would have been nice if like the Great Bear train was going past us when we were going past. They could do a little bit more interactions, but I think they purposely don't do that, or it's like a 1 in a million chance because we never saw it happen. But it's cool. It goes down near the water and stuff, and then goes back through its own loop, which is really cool. Would have been a cool dueling element of this coaster dueled, but obviously it's not going to do that, obviously. But that would have been cool to see. But otherwise, it just felt very graceful. I mean, it is a family coaster, so I did expect that. But when you get the big drop in the inversion at the beginning of the ride, that was so intense and so forceful for its standards, and then you get the rest of it, it kind of just be kind of a little bit of a letdown, maybe. But another great thing about this ride is that it's very smooth for its age. It's an older coaster, like I said, and it is still surprisingly smooth in my opinion. There's no real vibrations or roughness at all, and that makes for a pretty enjoyable ride experience. So that was really cool to enjoy. For sure. I really did. This was, I didn't really have a lot of high expectations coming into this ride because, I knew it was just a family coaster. I knew it was older, but I really enjoyed it. So, also the entrance to the ride is a lot easier to find than Sky Rush's was, because you get right off of Sky Rush and there's Sooperdooperlooper. Nice big building with it that has a big logo on it. That's how you do an entrance thing. How did Sooperdooperlooper get that right, but the coaster that opened decades afterwards didn't? Guess that's what happens when you build your park in the mountains. So, good one. But anyway, I know this was a short review, but it's not really much else that I can really have to talk about. The ride ops did not care at all. They just felt like they were just going through the day, going through the motions. No interaction from them whatsoever. In fact, they were actually running an automated message for the ride to with like the safety stuff. And there was no lines, so not even really many people to interact with at all. So. But that didn't take a damper on my ride experience. My final score for Sooperdooperlooper, that's probably a 7 out of 10. The beginning is awesome. The rest of the ride is just okay, but not bad. But yeah, nothing else to really write home about for sure. But I was definitely glad to pick up this credit. So that's going to do it for this review, though. If you have ever ridden Sooperdooperlooper, I'd like to know your thoughts about it in the comments section down below. And that's going to do it for this video, so stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more roller coaster reviews from Hersheypark. I have 9 more to do. Yep, 9 more. So, and again, that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for much more amazing content otherwise as well. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.